Hi, this is Bradley Sowash. I'm the author of a series of Learn to Play Jazz Piano books. This is number 2 in the core method. It's called Digging Deeper. And I'm going to be looking at a tune today called History of Flight. Now, History of Flight in the warm-up page uses a very important rhythm that is key to playing Latin music. It's often played on these. These are called clave, and the rhythm itself is called clave. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now that's called a forward clave, but you could also play it backwards. 1, 2, 1. So there's two kinds of clave, and it shows up in the tune in a place in the left hand where it sounds like this. You put that with the right hand, and you get a nice little counterpoint. Usually that's the trickiest part of the tune for students. The rest of it is based on scales, and they kind of wander up and down. It's kind of like those old planes in the early movies of the history of flight, how they would come up, go off the ground, and come back to the ground and move up. That's sort of what I had in mind. Here's a taste of it. Okay, now in the second half, it moves to kind of a Latin feel like we heard before. But going further with that is a concept you may have already experienced if you played through Book 1. There's a tune in there called Burrito ChaCha. It's such an important concept that I put it in 2 books. The idea is that you can start your improvisations by simply playing scales right over top the chords. Now that's kind of not very interesting because we all hear scales, so the first thing you do is randomize it. Just change direction randomly. I have a written example here, but yours will sound different. The important thing is not to stop. Just keep wandering. Now you add in some long notes. Here's the written example. Long, long. So now and then, just pause. Make sure your chords change at the right time. The last thing you can do is just add some leaps or intervals of any distance. So here's the written example. So anytime you want, you add in those leaps. Not every one of those notes sounded as good as others. That's fine. The main thing is don't stop. Start with a scale, randomize your scale, and wander in all directions. Add in some long notes, and then add in some leaps. It starts to sound like some really nice music. Okay, so that is the history of flight from the book called Digging Deeper, which is book 2 of That's Jazz. It's published by the Neil A. Chose Music Company. It's available at bradleysowash.com and most sheet music retailers. Good luck.